All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into something you might not think about, a kind of secret score that's absolutely critical in farming and, believe it or not, our whole food system.
So, let me ask you, have you ever really wondered what makes animal feed, good?
It's easy to think it's all about the ingredients, right? Or maybe the brand, or the price. But the real story, well, for farmers and nutritionists, it often boils down to one single, crucial number. Yeah, you can think of this number as a kind of energy score for feed. And that number is called Total Digestible Nutrients, or TDN for short. So what is it? It's basically a measure of the total energy an animal can actually get from its feed. And that's the key word right there, actually. It's not just about what's in the feed, but what the animal's body can truly absorb and put to use. The concept might sound a little technical, but it's actually super simple when you break it down. Just think of it like this. TDN is the energy score for an animal's meal. That's it, a single, powerful rating.
Okay, so where does this score even come from? Well, it's calculated from the sum of all the parts the animal can actually digest: the protein, the fiber, the fat, and the carbs. So you see, it's not just looking at one thing, it's a complete holistic picture of all the usable energy.
And what this means for the animal is incredibly simple. A high TDN percentage, that means more energy. A low TDN percentage, you guessed it, less energy. It really is that straightforward.
All right, so we get what TDN is, but so what? Why does this one number matter so much out in the real world, on a farm?
Well, it turns out it's a huge deal, and it all comes down to three main things, three pillars of importance. It's a vital source of energy, it's a measure of efficiency, and it's a key to being cost-effective. Let's dig into each of those. So first up, energy. I mean, this is the absolute fuel for everything an animal does. We're talking basic metabolism, just staying alive, all the way to growth, reproduction, making milk. None of that happens without enough energy. TDN basically tells us if the fuel tank is full.
Next up, efficiency. This is a big one. A feed with a higher TDN means the animal is way better at turning that food into growth or milk. This leads to healthier animals, but it also means more sustainable farming, simply because you're getting more bang for your buck and less feed is wasted.
And number three, you knew it was coming, the bottom line, profitability. For a farmer, choosing a high TDN feed is a direct financial decision. They get a much better return on their investment because the animals are squeezing more nutritional value out of every single bite.
Okay, theory's great, but let's make this real. We're going to look at a case study, rice bran.
Specifically, something called De-Oiled Rice Bran, or DORB for short. Now, for the longest time, this stuff was just a byproduct, the leftovers from making rice bran oil. But now it's recognized as this incredibly valuable feed ingredient.
So what's its energy score? Here it is. DORB usually has a TDN value somewhere between 55 and 65%. Now that's a really solid number. It tells you that a huge chunk of what's in DORB is energy that livestock can actually digest and use.
And because it has that solid energy score, DORB is pretty much a perfect fuel source for animals that need a ton of energy. Think about species like fish, poultry, and dairy cattle. For them, energy intake directly drives their growth and their production.
But, like with most things in science, it's never just about one single number. TDN is powerful for sure, but you can't look at it in a vacuum. And this is where you see the whole picture come together. TDN is definitely the main metric for energy, but other factors are also key to quality. For example, you want a low ash content, because that means fewer impurities. And you need the right amount of crude fiber to make sure the animal's digestion is working properly.
There's a quote from our source material that just nails it. It says, "By paying attention to TDN values, farmers can optimize their feed strategies, enhance feed efficiency, and improve the overall health and productivity of their livestock." I mean, that's the whole game right there.
So that kind of leaves us with a pretty big question to think about, right? In a world that's so focused on being more efficient, more sustainable, could the entire future of our food system really depend on us getting simple but powerful numbers like this one exactly right?